we are kicking things off with massive legal action shaking the wrestling world. AEW has officially filed a massive lawsuit against TrillerTV and its parent company, Triller Group Inc., alleging they owe Tony Khan's wrestling company nearly $5 million in unpaid revenue from pay-per-view sales and the discontinued AEW Plus subscription service. This is a huge fight over distribution rights and where the money actually goes. We dive into exactly how this financial dispute unfolded and what it means for the future of wrestling streaming.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the deep financial troubles behind TrillerTV and Triller Group Inc. AEW's filing uncovers a complex picture, including a separate lawsuit filed by TrillerTV itself claiming insolvency, and details about Flips Media Inc., asking the court to declare its officers as its board. We examine the corporate chaos surrounding Triller Group Inc., and what this insolvency means for the entire operation. You won't believe the financial details involved in this corporate showdown. Shifting gears completely, we move to the global stage as energy leaders converge at African Energy Week 2026. We meet key figures like Nikki Martin, President and CEO of Energeo Alliance, Annabur Kragha, Executive Secretary of the African Refiners and Distributors Association, and Carol Koch, Vice President for Africa at the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet. They are gathering to shape the continent's energy future and discuss massive initiatives like Mission 300. Get ready for insights on how these global associations are coordinating to secure Africa's energy independence. And finally, we wrap up with some music news that is taking a major turn. AEW Music Man and new violin student, Mikey Rukus, has announced a huge move beyond the studio. Rukus has acquired the rights to revive a classic brand and is bringing a brand new line of action figures to life. We break down this exciting announcement and what it means for the nostalgia market. Don't miss out on the full story, stay tuned right here. AEW has initiated a significant lawsuit against TrillerTV and its parent company, Triller Group Inc., alleging the streaming platform owes the wrestling company nearly $5 million in unpaid revenue stemming from pay-per-view sales and the discontinued AEW Plus subscription service. The legal action, filed on April 29 in Duval County Court in Florida, accuses Triller Group of diverting revenue generated from distributing AEW content to fund other ventures, specifically citing a social media platform that reportedly failed to gain traction, instead of fulfilling contractual payment obligations to AEW. AEW's legal counsel stated in the filing that Triller Group Inc. S strategy of utilizing revenues from TrillerTV's distribution of AEW content to cover operating expenses, much of which was spent on the social media endeavor, negatively impacted its relationship with and payments owed to AEW. The lawsuit detailed the revenue-sharing structure under the agreement established in mid-2019. AEW was entitled to 75% of net domestic pay-per-view revenue and 65% of international pay-per-view revenue. For AEW Plus, the split was 60% for AEW and 40% for TrillerTV. Furthermore, data from a Triller Group SEC filing indicated that AEW content represented 24% of all Triller Group revenue in 2024. An April 2026 legal demand letter from AEW's outside counsel quantified the owed amount at $4,988,989.13, with interest accruing at 2% per month. AEW reported sending written payment demands in January and March 2025 before escalating to litigation. The financial turmoil surrounding Triller Group is compounded by a separate lawsuit filed by TrillerTV itself against its parent company. In that action, Flips Media Inc., the corporate entity behind TrillerTV, claimed insolvency and an inability to meet its debts, further complicating the financial landscape. Flips also noted the lack of a board of directors, prompting a request for the court to appoint its officers to evaluate financial options. TrillerTV, formerly FITE and acquired by Triller in 2021, has been operating since the 2010s. Triller subsequently merged with publicly traded financial services business AGBA in October 2024 to form Triller Group Inc. The company faced significant market challenges, including being delisted from the Nasdaq exchange last December after failing to file financial reports on time and experiencing a severe stock price decline. In response to the service gaps, AEW launched its own streaming platform, MyAEW, in partnership with Kisui in March 2026, aiming to replace the international streaming service previously offered by AEW Plus, which was formally discontinued last month. AEW has filed a significant lawsuit against TrillerTV and its parent company, Triller Group, Inc., seeking nearly $5 million in overdue payments stemming from unpaid revenue related to pay-per-view sales and the discontinued AEW Plus subscription service. The legal action, filed on April 29 in Duval County Court in Florida, alleges that TrillerTV used AEW-derived revenues to finance other ventures, including an unsuccessful social media platform, instead of remitting the funds owed to the wrestling company. AEW attorneys contended that Triller Group's strategy of diverting AEW content revenues to cover other operating expenses negatively impacted payments due to AEW. The lawsuit uncovers deeper corporate issues within the Triller ecosystem. Separately, TrillerTV brought a lawsuit against its parent, Triller Group, Inc., which has revealed the financial instability of the corporate entity. Flips Media, Inc., the corporate entity behind TrillerTV, has informed the Delaware Chancery Court that it is insolvent, lacking a board of directors, and is seeking judicial intervention to determine the best path forward for the company and its creditors. Reports indicate that TrillerTV continues to operate, listing upcoming live events on its schedule. However, there are indications of operational shifts, with sources suggesting key personnel have departed. In response to inquiries, the CEO of Triller Group, Inc., Wingfi NG, stated that the company is reviewing the legal matter and offered no further comment. AEW has since launched its own streaming platform, MyAEW, in partnership with Kisui, in March 2026, replacing the service provided by AEW Plus, which was discontinued on TrillerTV recently. The lawsuit details a long-standing business relationship with the platform, noting that AEW content accounted for 24% of Triller Group's revenue in 2024. The complaint specifies revenue splits, alleging AEW was owed 75% of net revenue from domestic pay-per-view sales and 65% from international sales, a structure established in mid-2019. AEW claims the defendants exploited timing gaps between sales and payment deadlines, asserting that written demands for payment were made in January and March 2025. An April 2026 legal demand letter cited by AEW's counsel claimed nearly $5 million was owed, with interest accruing at 2% per month, according to a contract filed in the case. TrillerTV, formerly known as FITE, has streamed various sports since the 2010s and was acquired by Triller in 2021. The corporate structure evolved through mergers, including Triller's combination with AGBA in October 2024 to form Triller Group Inc., which was subsequently delisted from the Nasdaq exchange due to failure to file financial reports on time and significant stock price instability. AEW's lawsuit cites breach of contract, unjust enrichment, and tortious interference, directed specifically at the parent Triller Group for its alleged role in directing the financial conduct of TrillerTV. Global energy bodies are converging at the African Energy Week 2026 to forge a unified strategy for the continent's energy future, focusing on balancing energy security, industrial growth, and decarbonization. This gathering brings together key global associations whose activities are fundamentally shaping Africa's energy systems, signaling a crucial shift toward integrated coordination across the entire energy value chain, from subsurface data to universal energy access. the participation of leaders from organizations like the Energeo Alliance, the African Refiners and Distributors Association, ARDA, and the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet, GEAPP, underscores this collaborative effort. Nikki Martin, President and CEO of the Energeo Alliance, is driving the integration of geoscience and data-driven exploration to de-risk investments in frontier markets, with recent partnerships in countries like Libya demonstrating a push to inject technical rigor into upstream sectors and boost investor confidence. Meanwhile, ARDA is reinforcing downstream resilience. At its 2026 conference, the association highlighted energy security as paramount, with African refiners strategically moving to mitigate global market volatility and supply disruptions. This focus supports the continent's expansion of refining capacity and reduces dependence on imported petroleum, which is vital for economic sovereignty and stabilizing domestic markets. GEAPP, led by Carol Koch, is bridging these traditional energy systems with long-term transition goals. The alliance has become central to mobilizing blended finance for large-scale electrification and renewable deployment. In 2026, GEAPP and its partners exceeded $100 million in commitments toward Mission 300, connecting 300 million Africans to electricity by 2030, while actively working to unlock substantial public and private capital through technical assistance and project development. NJ Ayuk, executive chairman of the African Energy Chamber, emphasized the significance of this convergence. He stated that the presence of these organizations reflects a growing global alignment, noting that their engagement at AEW 2026 will be instrumental in advancing Africa's energy ambitions. The inclusion of these bodies reinforces the perception that Africa's energy future requires coordinated action across sectors, institutions, and geographies rather than fragmented approaches, cementing the African Energy Week as a vital platform for defining the continent's next phase of growth. AEW music personality and aspiring violinist Mikey Rukus is reportedly expanding his business ventures beyond the realm of music and studio work, venturing into the nostalgia market. Known for his involvement in Got M Toys and his focus on retro culture, Rukus recently announced a significant acquisition. In a post on his X account, he confirmed that he has secured the rights to revive a classic brand from the 1990s and create a new line of action figures. Rukus stated, "Suwu, I'm doing a thing. I got the rights to revive an old brand from the 90s and create a brand new line of action figures. I get the 3D models back this week. I'm super FKN pumped." He added that more details would follow. This development signals a pivot for Rukus into collectible merchandise and nostalgia-driven products, a move that industry watchers are closely monitoring as the project moves toward production.